My name's Stuart Elford and I'm the Chief Executive of Devon and Plymouth Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for joining us. On the Zoom call this morning, we also have other members of the team, and I will give them a second to introduce themselves. So Helen, would you like to say hello?
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I'm Helen. I head up member services team at the Chamber. And so anything that you want regarding membership, events, communications, marketing, or any other potential project that you think might be of interest, then please get in touch.
Thank you. And Olivia, do you want to come in next?
Hello, I'm Olivia. I'm the membership events and comms administrator. So anything that you need regarding any of those three topics, then contact me.
Thank you. Daphne, say hello.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for registering today. My name is Daphne. I'm the events executive at the Chamber. Along with all the team, we try to organize really exciting events. So please let us know if you have any feedback or if you want to attend. We're here to help you.
Thank you. And Sam, say hello.
Hi, morning everyone, nice to see you. I'm the membership executive here at Devon and Plymouth Chamber of Commerce. So my job really is to look after all the members, making sure that you're making the most of your membership. So please make sure you've updated your member area. If there's anything you need in regards to any of the benefits, or you're unsure about any of the benefits or making the most out of them, then please contact me and we can have a chat and go through that as well.
Thank you. And we should at some stage be joined, he's obviously on a call, but Nick Byrne is our international trade manager who deals with all things to do with international trade and training. So he would be there. All our details are on the website, so you can see details of the whole team if you need to. So I probably don't need to spend too long on Zoom protocol because I think we're probably all pretty expert at Zoom now. But just to say, if you've got any questions, please feel free to either raise your hand in the participants function, put it in the chat function. If you want to ask a question but don't want it to come from you, then just send it to me privately in the chat and I'll ask it without naming names. That's that. If you want to interrupt, there's only a few of us on the call, so if you want to just cut in, do. I can see you all on one screen, so it's not too bad. This event, Chamber Connect, which you can use on social media. If you're going to tweet, blog, post, then please use the hashtag Chamber Connect, is designed either really for new members or members we haven't engaged with for a while, to remind everyone about what we do, about what the benefits are, how you can maximize your value from the Chamber, because we want to make sure you're getting real value out of your membership. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with an impact video, which is all about Devon and Plymouth Chamber of Commerce, what we do, and then I will go through a short PowerPoint. Don't worry, I hope I won't do death by PowerPoint and bore you all senseless, but I'll give you a quick rundown of all the benefits. Then after that, we've got time for some questions and a bit of feedback. Before we do a little networking around the room, so get ready with your sort of 1-minute elevator pitch to tell us what we're all doing. Let's start. I think Daphne has the impact video ready to share. Sometimes because we're streaming a high-res video, it jerks a little bit, but you'll get the gist. So Daphne, if you don't mind sharing your screen now and showing the impact video.
Of course.
I was famously on mute there. Thank you, Daphne. That was great. And actually, you'll all be pleased to know that that went seamlessly. I don't know if it played well for you, but it certainly played a lot better than it did in the test about 30 seconds before we started the event. So thank you for that, Daphne. It's a good job you're on top of all the technology, because that was quite stunning. So if you stop sharing your screen there, and I'll start mine.
I apologize for that one. So I might just have to leave you now.
There we go. So I have my screen up. Can you all see that? No, you should see a PowerPoint from me. How's that?
I can still see Daphne's screen.
Ah,
Yeah, me too.
okay. I think Daphne might need to stop sharing now. Let me just stop sharing that one.
I think she's.
Are we all back?
So we're back. Thank you
Yes.
for waiting.
Yeah. That's better. Right, let me try again. Technology is great, isn't it? Can you now see a PowerPoint of mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technology works. Thank you, Daphne. As I mentioned, my name's Stuart Elford. I'm the Chief Executive of Devon and Plymouth Chamber of Commerce, the slightly oddly named Devon and Plymouth. There's a bit of a story with that. I won't bore you too much, but just to say that we are in fact the 6th oldest Chamber of Commerce in the world and the 5th oldest in the country. And we were formed on the Barbican by a bunch of ship merchants who realized they were better together and had more power and strength together. So over the years, we changed and morphed into Plymouth Chamber of Commerce and Industry Limited. And then we became the accredited Chamber of Commerce by British Chambers of Commerce in London. And being accredited means that you have to jump through a lot of hoops. There's a lot of chambers of commerce out there. There's a lot of town chambers who do things like networking, and they're a sort of voluntary run organization. But to be an accredited chamber of commerce, you have to do international trade, you have to do business support, you have to have a full-time team, you have to have lobbying capacity. So there's a whole bunch of things we do, which you'll find out about in a moment, which is why we're different to town chambers. And then we found out that Devon was the only chamber in the country that didn't have its own, was the only county in the country that didn't have its own chamber of commerce. So we were asked to be the accredited county chamber. So we became Devon Chamber of Commerce about 5 years ago. And what that did was upset everyone in Devon who thought Plymouth was trying to take over the world, and everyone in Plymouth who thought they'd lost their town chamber. So a couple of years ago, to sort of set the record straight, if you like, we became Devon and Plymouth Chamber of Commerce. And you can see on the logo there is a P within a D with the leaf of the British Chambers of Commerce accredited chambers. So now I've got to work out how to change my slide. There we go. Can you guys see the next slide?
Yes.
Great. So our strapline is connect, grow, succeed. And we looked at that again a couple of years ago to say, is that still very relevant? And it is. And that's basically what we're about. It says there over 500 members from across Devon and beyond. We've in fact got a member in Arizona. Is that true? No, it's not Arizona. Where is it? Austin, Texas. We have members in Cornwall, in Somerset, and further afield. We've got 1 or 2 in London, but largely it's Plymouth and Devon. That number has now risen substantially because we've recently had a membership campaign. Some of you will have joined through that, where you had a 3-month fully funded trial membership. We have packages to suit every size and sector, so therefore we have members from every sector. And so what do? Well, we do networking and events. We help market your business and give you profile. We have international trade services. We do lobbying and policy and advocacy work on your behalf, and we give business support and advice. So you've met Daphne, who runs our events program. what we say with our events is you can network anywhere for free. So our events are never just networking events. What they are added value events with quality topics and speakers, excellent locations and times, great catering, good locations where we've thought about the parking, the directions and all that sort of thing. Of course, when we're allowed to meet in public, and therefore the networking is really, really good. And we make sure that those are all value added. So they're things you need to know for your business. So even if you were the only person to attend one of our events, and I'm sure that wouldn't happen, but even if you were, we want you to go away going, God, I'm really glad I went. I learned something. That was really something good and special. We can also help promote your business with the various channels we have. And you can see them listed there. Chamber Bites is our weekly e-newsletter. We have Solus emails, that's individual emails that you can pay for to put a direct mail to all our membership. We have our quarterly profile magazine, which is a perfect bound magazine, improving all the time, and is now produced, in fact, locally by a member. It's a great magazine full of articles and adverts. We have our web and social media channels, and you saw the reach of our social media is rising all the time. So if you're ever using social media to promote your business, do copy us in, and wherever it's possible and appropriate, we will retweet, repost, reblog, and so forth. We also allow our members to put out membership offers. That might be a one-off sort of timed membership offer, or it might be a permanent one. So you might say all chamber members get 10% off our services, for example, or you may say during the month of February, you know, we will offer this particular package, service, product, or whatever. And there's also various opportunities to sponsor the events we hold, and the web channels and the brochure and so forth. And those sponsorship opportunities include the Devon Business Show, which we also run. The Devon Business Show annually held currently at the Plymouth Pavilions. Great show, really exciting. Get a lot of people there, a lot of really good stands, and it's a great way to meet members and non-members, to reach out to a new audience. So the other thing we do is international trade. International trade is about import and export. It's about giving advice and guidance. It's about helping businesses to reach new markets, to expand, to get into exporting. If you've never done it before, it's quite a daunting thing, but we can help through every step of the way. And we can then help you with your documentation, providing certificates of origin and so forth. But we also have just launched a Chamber Customs service. And those of you who follow the media around Brexit and who have seen that no matter what happens, customs declaration documentation is going to be increased massively, because where you didn't need to do that for exporting to the EU, you now will. And we've got a Chamber Customs service, so we can help people with all that. So the lobbying activities, and I'm going to pause on this slide in a moment, but we do a number of things. We have events which feed into the Bank of England. So we have their inflation report, where they meet with us and tell us about what's happening with the economy. They have our roundtable events, where they want business people from our area to tell them about what your issues are, about what's happening in there, so that they can guide monetary policy. And we also, they use the quarterly economic survey, which is live at the moment, actually, and I'd urge you to fill that out. The QES, as we call it, run by British Chambers of Commerce, is the largest independent business survey in the country by a mile. It's absolutely huge. So one of our chambers alone, out of the 53 accredited chambers, their response rate will be bigger than the FSB and the IOD. So, you know, this is a massive survey of business economic conditions, and it is used by the Bank of England Monetary Policy Committee, and it's used by government before it makes any decision relating to anything that business does, or anything that will affect business, rather. So do fill in the QES, because what we find is that the larger metropolitan type areas get a good response rate to the QES, and guess what? That's where the funding tends to go. So the more of us that fill in the QES, the better. Being part of British Chambers of Commerce means we've got a direct line into government. And during our lobbying campaign at the start of the first lockdown, lockdown V1 as they're calling it, we gave an example of how one of our members was hit with a sort of double impact of a government policy that was supposed to help. And in fact, that example we gave landed on Rishi Sunak's desk, and he changed government policy based on evidence we provided. That's what being part of an accredited chamber is about. That's so that you can feed in your issues and have a direct impact on government policy. I also chair British Chambers of Commerce South West, and that's the accredited chambers of Cornwall, Devon, Dorset, Somerset, and Business West. And we also allow South Wales to sort of visit as a guest. And we are campaigning, getting behind the Great South West Initiative and ensuring that this region gets the investment and attention it deserves. I don't know about you, but I'm fed up of hearing about the Northern Powerhouse and the Midlands Engine. We want to hear about the South West and what investment we're going to get. We hold Meet the MP events, and in fact we do hustings events, which are really fun and interesting and exciting. I get to play Fiona Bruce and do my apolitical bit, wear an apolitical tie of many colours, and so do come to those as and when we hold them. We feed directly in and have a partnership arrangement with the Heart of the Southwest LEP. That's the Local Enterprise Partnership, which is the public-private partnership that looks at where investment goes. And we also recently absorbed Plymouth Area Business Council into our chamber. So Plymouth Area Business Council comprises 200 senior business leaders from across the city in every sector. And we meet in the council chambers where we're allowed 4 times a year. And we kind of hold the council to account in a critical friend kind of way. So they tell us about their future plans, where they plan to invest, what sort of thing is happening, and we question the leader of the council, leader of opposition, and we give real feedback to them, and it's a good relationship. We also hold 2 fabulous military dinners of PABC every year, again when we're allowed, in the barracks, where we have a fantastic ceremonial sunset. We have toasts, we have really great speakers. And that's a fantastic event. And PABC is invitation only. That's just to maintain the integrity of having business leadership there, as opposed to all and sundry. But if you are interested in joining PABC, it's £50 plus VAT a year. Just contact me and I'll tell you more about that. So the next thing we have is about business support. Business support comes in a number of varieties, from being able to just pick up the phone to us, the chamber team, asking where we can signpost you, to also having the Heart of the Southwest Growth Hub located in our building, and we've got a great relationship with them. Being able to give you the latest information about government grants and various funding streams, but also to these key priorities, if you like, these things that really matter to business. So Quest services provided through British Chambers of Commerce are the health and safety, HR, legal, and tax. I'm just going to pop on one slide because I'm not sure if it explains. No, it doesn't. So I'll do that now. So this is a single helpline for all your health and safety, HR, legal, and tax needs. But it's not just a helpline that is described as a sort of first aid. So if you've got an issue and you think this might become something, just get in touch with them. But it's backed by 800 downloadable documents. So if you needed, I know you're a small business and you employ someone for the first time, there'll be an employment contract on there. If you need to write a health and safety policy, there'll be one of those. So these documents are fantastic resource for a small business, but they're also backed with £1 million of legal expenses insurance and also tax inquiry insurance. Now, I'm fortunate, I've never had tax inquiry, but I'm told it can be business ending for some people if HMRC descends and shuts you down for a few days as they go through all your paperwork. So this insurance covers you against that. And this package comes with all our membership packages. So going on to the membership packages, we realized in the old days, the amount you paid depended on the size of your business, but that didn't relate necessarily to what service you wanted out of the chamber. So we realized one size didn't fit all, and we split the services down into different packages. So if you wanted the basic package there, you can see it's essential at £245 a year, and that's just £20 a month. But the benefits are in excess of £2,200. So we listed each and every benefit of being a member under the essential package, and the value of those comes to £2,200. But if you go up to Essential Plus, you get a bit more. You get to come to City Conversations, our sort of flagship event. That's £395 a year, still only £32 a month, but the benefits are in excess of 3,500, and so on, right up to Patron. And our patrons are the highest form of membership. You saw them listed on the impact video, and we're very grateful to our patrons because they help us in really funding, I suppose, our policy advocacy and lobbying work. They're our strategic partners. So if you want to partner with the Chamber in a strategic way, where our team works with your team to help you meet your business goals and vice versa, then contact me about patronage. So that's us in a nutshell. That's how we can help you connect, grow and succeed. And I'd finish by probably saying something that Sam may have told you as she spoke to you during your membership recruitment, and that is that joining a chamber is a bit like joining a gym. You don't get fit by joining a gym, you get fit by going to the gym, by engaging with it, by doing the classes. And it's the same with joining a chamber. You know, just joining the chamber, yes, you'll get our emails, they'll be full of information, but really to get the best value, you need to engage. You need to go onto the website, you need to update your member area with all your products and services, everything you do, everything about yourself. You need to make sure that all the contacts in your business are on our CRM system so that we can send our information to all your guys, so that we can really give you the value you need out of your membership. So I think that's probably everything from me for there. Let me just see if I can work out how to stop sharing my screen. Now, I've not been able to see any of you during all that, so hopefully you're still all there. There you are. Thankfully, I don't think I lost anyone in the middle of that. Hope I didn't bore you all to tears. So any questions from any of you about what we've just seen there? Stunned silence. It was obviously so fascinating and brilliant that I've covered absolutely everything. Gordon, don't forget to unmute yourself, but Gordon, have you got a question for us? Unmute yourself, Gordon.
Is that better?
Yep, we can.
Is that it? Thank you. First of all, congratulations on the information you've just given us. That's absolutely brilliant. And I think your role as a regional chairman is very, very important, not only to the region, but to us. Just a couple of ideas. We've lost our MEPs, so we've lost that connection into Europe, which was quite important. In the 1980s, I set up the Devon office in Brussels. And I'm just wondering whether, if we linked in, for example, Hamlin want to have a trade deal with us for Devon. If we linked in with a number of Chamber of Commerces in Europe and the United States, I've linked in the past to Hawaii Chamber of Commerce, to Monaco in Europe, and of course to Hamlin. That's just 3. But if we linked into those and they came, if you like, a partnership, we might change the name to International Chamber of Commerce.
Well, of course, there is part of British Chambers of Commerce is that it's part of the International Chamber of Commerce network. We have, and I should know the number, but it is literally hundreds of chambers around the world. And this is how we can open up markets for you. So we have a relationship with the whole global network. What we are actually working on for the new year is a virtual trade mission, and it'll either be a day or a week of events where we tie up with other countries. We've got good relationships in Russia, in Malaysia, in Singapore, and in Spain, just to name but a few. And we're thinking of how we have little events so that people can dip in and out, because they won't be interested in each and every one. They won't want to spend a whole week. But where our manufacturers, our exporters have a product or a service they feel they can take to that chamber, we can do that. And also we bring opportunities from those countries to us. So we do hold, we are planning to hold virtual trade missions. The old days of all getting on a plane together and flying off, as you can imagine, are currently not happening and probably won't happen again. But things being largely online, we should be able to do that going forward.
What arrangements do we make for translation and language?
So we have a number of members who offer that service, and we can signpost any of our businesses to that. So if you are working with other countries and you need translation services, get in touch with us, and we'll do that. We'll put those people in touch with you. Although I've just had an update to my phone, iOS 14 or whatever on Apple, and I've now got translate services. I'm not sure I'd use it for international trade negotiations, but it seems a pretty good app, I have to say. I just worry that it'll say something, a literal translation might be a bit inappropriate for some of the things you might say during a trade negotiation. Okay.
I just think our future is I'm very optimistic, and I think the work that the Chamber will be able to do in the future, I think, will be unlimited. So congratulations on what you're doing.
Oh, thank you, Gordon. I really, really appreciate that. That's really kind of you. We have, we do work very hard. A lot of what we do actually is kind of behind the scenes, I suppose. And what I wouldn't say much good has come out of the pandemic, but some of the things that have come good would include, firstly, that we have taken our events online. We had been saying for a long time that we ought to stream our events. We ought to have people able to come and visit us, because we're aware Devon's a big county. To come for a breakfast meeting in Plymouth, for example, if you're in Barnstaple, it's a heck of a long way to come for a bacon butty and a presentation. But of course, now with Zoom, our plan going forward is that all our events will be hybrid, so that you can either attend in person, or if you can't get away from your office or it's too far to come for that particular thing, then we will be streaming that as well. It's going to take some interesting chairing. I think I feel like those guys on the sort of those auctioneers on the sort of bargain hunt show, where they're taking bids from the room and from the computer. So I'm going to need a bit of support with that from people like Daphne, who know how to use the technology and keep me on track, because otherwise it's going to be a bit dire. The other good thing that's come out of the pandemic is that our lobbying activities have never been so apparent. So we've always worked really hard on behalf of business, behind the scenes, lobbying government for changes to certain things. Extension to the annual investment allowance was actually as a direct result of lobbying by British Chambers of Commerce. But much of that goes kind of under the radar. But of course, with the pandemic, what we've been doing has been very headline stuff. So the furlough scheme was as a direct result of Chamber of Commerce campaigning. The extension to it has Chamber of Commerce fingerprints all over it. We campaigned for the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme, and that came in. We are still campaigning for support for company directors who paid themselves through dividend and therefore don't have the support of any of those other schemes. And the extension to the furlough scheme, while I'm transmitting about lobbying, let me just say the extension to the furlough scheme is very welcome. It's a reasonably generous package, and it will undoubtedly save a lot of jobs. But what it doesn't do is protect the business itself. There are grants coming out, and of course, any grant is welcome. But there's the grant that's based on what they call a hereditament, which means basically you have to pay business rates, and you'll get a grant depending on the size of your business if you have to shut through coronavirus. But then there's discretionary grants, and the councils are working with us to decide how to distribute that. But it's a relatively small amount of money. And businesses have fixed overheads. They can't, they can get their staff fixed overheads covered through the furlough scheme, but they've got rent, rates, VAT bills coming in, power, insurance, which just won't be covered by this grant. So those jobs that are being saved on an individual basis through furlough, that's great. But there are jobs that unfortunately will go, not because the salaries weren't covered, but because the businesses themselves will go under. And that is the stuff that we are campaigning for on your behalf. So your membership fee provides all those wonderful value-added benefits you've seen, but it also means you're investing in your own business community, and you're saying, yeah, we want someone fighting for us. We want someone campaigning for these things. I think, unless you have any other specific questions, I just want to mention, because quite rightly, one of my teams mentioned to me that we have our AGM, annual general meeting, on Thursday after the Chamber live event. So we've got the Thrive in 5 event, which is a series of business support events coming out of our Small Business Toolkit. The Small Business Toolkit is where we've got 30+ professionals from every type of service you could think of, have given a page of sort of top headline advice about the sort of thing you need to consider as a small business. We've collated all that together and we've pushed it out there. It's available through the website and through our any of our channels. If you want a copy, then let us know. And I suspect, knowing Daphne or Olivia, they're burrowing away now to actually find the link and send it to you. But those professionals are now giving short advice in a series of short sessions to our members on a whole range of subjects, be it HR, tax, accounting, branding, marketing, PR, you name it, there is advice for it. And they're a really good series of workshops.